Here is what it looks like. See these bottom leaves right here? I mean, they're just dead on all of them. It should be twice as tall. It should be at least this tall. Oh boy.
Oh shit! Sorry about that. Get your boy.
Sure nobody's back there. What that is? Morning guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Daniel and you are watching Triple R Farms, and it is Monday, April the 21st. And here's what we got on tap for today. We're moving the planters over to Gray Rocks, getting ready to plant cotton. We're waiting on some of the cotton seed to come in today, so I don't think we're going to get started planting today. We'll probably shoot for tomorrow on that. PA is finishing fertilizing at Good Bottom. He's got one more or half a load to put out, and then he's getting on the road coming here to the shop, and we got to swap his fertilizer rig over to the Y drops. Philip is up there at the Hope Hole new land. He's been running the high-speed disc, trying to get that land ready to be planted, so he's going to be working up there today. I'm going to be getting my rogator ready to lay by corn. I'm going to come over here and take a look at some of the corn. It's right on the verge of being ready to be laid by, so we're going to take a look at that. But while we're talking about corn, we got some major issues going on in all of our corn. And I'm going to start off by showing you the two worst fields, and then we'll go look at some older corn that looks better, and then we'll show you some corn that's just coming up. So okay, so this field right here, like I said, is going to be one of the worst fields we got. And when I show you all the corn, you're going to notice it's got a real yellow look to it. You'll see a little bit of green patches in part of the field, but for the most part this field looks really yellow, and the corn is stunted. Corn just not really growing at all. And this particular field, this is the one I'm going to show y'all. The reason I'm going to show y'all, because it is real sandy. So the two fields I'm going to show you that look the worst is like the corn. The sandier the dirt, the worse the corn looks. Now when we go over there in some other fields, it's going to be some black dirt, heavier dirt, and the corn looks a lot different. So that's all I know about the differences in the corn. It looked really bad last week. This field still looks really bad. The corn in the black dirt, the heavier dirt, has started coming out of it, and it's looking a lot better. So I don't know if it's coming across on the camera, but the corn just has a real yellow look to it. And then you'll have some patches of taller corn that looks has a lot more green in it. But here is what it looks like. See these bottom leaves right here? I mean, they're just dead on all of them. This corn right here, it should be twice as tall. It should be at least this tall. And it has not grown at all in a week. It is just sitting here suffering. Now see, this one right here is starting to come out of it. See how tall it is compared to the other ones? But it had damage on these lower leaves, and it's starting to take off growing now. Thank goodness. So now you're asking, well, what in the world happened? That is the $1,000,000 question. We've had a lot of people come out here and look at the corn. We've been on the phone, sent pictures to different universities, basically got in touch with anybody we could that knows anything about corn. And probably the #1 answer, after everybody's looked at this corn and pictures and actually come out here to the field, dug up some plants, everybody is pointing their finger toward cold weather, like a weather related event, because it's uniform. Last week it was just uniform across all of our corn. I thought it was something that chemical damage or something we put down in furrow that was causing all this, but after everybody looked at it, they think it's weather related. If you think back a couple of weeks ago, we had the huge 5-inch rain, and then the temperatures dropped off, and our average temperature, our lows were, the average was like 38 degrees for like 7 days. And I think that with the large amount of water has set this corn back dramatically. Now the question is, why is the sandier dirt suffering more than the heavier soils? That is the one that's got me scratching my head. So hopefully this corn will turn around, but definitely riding around looking at all the fields, these sandier soils are suffering the most by far. So if anybody has any comments that may have an idea of why that's happening, please leave a comment, because I would love to learn as much as I can about why this is kind of happening in the different soil types. There's a sandy spot in the field right up here, right where that sun's shining. You see the difference in the height? See it right there? A little sandy ridge of corn, looks like it's only about that tall. And then you get right here and some darker dirt, taller. See it out there, that ridge? Okay, now take a look at this corn. We're getting into the darker soil, and look how good this corn looks. And it still has the damage on the lower leaves, but the corn plant just recovered a lot quicker, and now is growing and looks good and healthy, like it should be. And see, it still had the damage on the lower leaves when it went through that cold phase. But I'll show you the height of it. That tall, knee high. And this field right here was planted about a day and a half earlier from the 2 previous fields that I showed you. And just look at the difference. And we planted about, at least, I know we planted 6 different varieties of corn, different hybrids, and it is same way over every acre of corn. So it wasn't a different variety, maybe didn't have as much damage. It all depended on the soil type. Okay, we're just gonna go look at one more field. I know y'all are probably getting bored at looking at the corn, but Anyway, this last field that we're gonna go look at, the corn was actually, it was planted, it was in the process of coming up when all this happened. Look at there, got a soybean up, volunteer. Got another one. Well, that's not good. Something is eating the corn. So this corn right here, like I said earlier, it was just starting to break the ground coming up when we got the 5 inches of rain and then the cold weather hit. And the only really thing I saw on this corn, it was pretty consistent, was this leaf right here just had a yellow kind of mark on it, just a burn little look on the tip. There's another. That was the only thing that it was showing, and this was the only leaf that was really starting to come up and unroll, but it just had a yellow mark on the very end of the leaf, just like this. Here's a good one. So other than that, I think this corn probably fared the best. Number one, because it was young, and it was in, this is the heavier soil, this is your blacker dirt. But that's the only damage I've seen on it, and it looks like it's growing fine. Looks like it's not going to be really affected at all. So that is a plus. So of course me and PA have gone out here to all the fields that we got corn in, and we've pulled tissue samples. We've got those sent off, starting to get some results in from those. So unless we see anything that's crazy or out of whack, if we do see something like that, I'll of course let y'all know what we find. But right now it's just wait and see what the corn's gonna do. Hopefully it'll come out there. I am gonna do a little test with some chemical called Awaken and Radiate. I'm gonna do a mixture, 130 acre load, and go out there in some of the worst spots and do some strips with my rogator and kind of watch it and see if we see a difference on that. But for now, just wait and see what happens. Oh boy. Oh my gosh, we're either gonna need another truck to get up in here and help jump this thing off, because mine just won't do it, or either we gotta get the battery charger out here and let it try to charge the batteries. But we are about as far away from an electrical outlet as you can get. I would have to find about 500 feet or more of extension cord. Okay, we never got the Awaken put out because I had to do a clean out on my rogator. By the time I got the thing cleaned out, we were in the heat of the day, and it's not a good idea to put that chemical out when you have really warm temperatures. So because you can get a little burn. That's the last thing I want to do to that corn. I've heard it. So we're gonna put it out this morning, but before we do that, Dad was able to get started planting cotton at Gray Rocks, but at the end of the day he had a hydraulic leak. He took off the part and he wants me to weld it up for him, so that's what we're gonna do first, and then we'll probably jump on helping PA. He's gonna be putting the Y drops on. He's gonna get started fertilizing the corn today, so we're gonna make sure he gets started out okay, and then we'll get back to spraying the corn. I don't know if you want me to hold it and turn it as you weld. I'm gonna grind it off. I'm gonna weld that crack.
Right here?
Yeah. But now don't try to get on, leave me room to get my wrench on it. If not, I can hook back here with the opening in.
Okay.
Golly. Dropped it. Wire brushing with it. You're a little weak right there. It's got a crack.
Oh man. That may have been coming down the side.
Looks a little weaker on that side there. See where that glob is? Oh, God!
Sorry about that.
Get your horse. Look up.
I'm not sure which hole we hit it in, but I'll start from the lower one just because I think. To brace this round pipe, that's going to just continue to bend. Again, lock goes in.
So with our Y drops, we do them a little bit different than some people. You can put like a hydraulic hose that goes on this end right here, and then it drags on the ground and dribbles out fertilizer way back there. But we had trouble with that. It just never was consistently getting close to the row. They were just flopping all back here. Just some of the times it'd be right along the row, some of the times it'd be dead in the middle of the row. So it just was not consistent. So we took off the hydraulic hoses. So what we're trying to do is actually squirt fertilizer over here and hit exactly where we want to hit, which is right beside the row. So that's the way we've been running them. And when we had the hoses, we have a lot of bedded land. When we'd get in those beds, the hoses would fall down to the very center of the bed, and all the fertilizer on both sides would be going dead in the middle of the row. So that's why we took off the hydraulic hoses. And then the other thing is these things got a lot of play in them over the years with these holes. Kind of got wallowed out. So that's where the chain comes into play, and then you got a spring that he puts up here, and it keeps tension on this, keeps it from moving as much. And then also when we're in the beds, he's got a hydraulic block, little square tubing block that he puts in here to get this thing at the right angle. And when we're running on flat ground, we take the block off and we run like that. So he's got a lot of setting up to do before we're ready to even run some fertilizer through it and do a test and make sure everything's working right before we go to the field. Okay, the question is, will it crank? It did not crank the other day. What you got? Half full?
Half, I believe.
All right, girl. What that is? So we've gotten the 18-wheeler of fertilizer over in the valley for PA. He's taking the tractor over there right now. Then we got to come back and get his pickup truck. He's got the chemical on that trailer. He's got to get all that mixed up, and then he's going to come over here and he's going to get started fertilizing the corn. And what we call this trip is side dress. On a normal year, this should be the last trip of nitrogen that we have to go through there and put on the corn. Now we will take tissue samples, you know, the rest of the season, and at tassel or right before tassel, if for some reason we're low on nitrogen, we will fly on just a little bit or what's needed. But normally, you know, this should be the last trip. He's going to be putting in the quart of boron and just 1 pint of zinc on this trip and no moly. Looking at the tissue samples and talking with our agronomist, we were a little low on boron. Zinc levels were borderline okay, so we're being on the safe side, putting a pint to the acre in there. And we had plenty of moly out there according to the tissue samples. So, and you probably saw the planter go by. That is James. He has taken that over to Gray Rocks. Dad's been running the other planter over there all morning planting cotton. So James is just getting that one over there. I doubt we'll get that one going today. Do have some rain coming in tonight and into tomorrow, so depending on if we get any rain. If we don't, we'll definitely be going over there and getting the second planter going at Gray Rock for sure. This is the second one I've seen today. So they are out and about. That one's just a baby though. Well, you can see right here where the fertilizer was hitting. So that's exactly where we're trying to hit, right beside the corn plant. I don't know, what is that, 4 inches over? 3 inches, in between 3 and 4 right there. But it's just perfect all the way down. That is why we took those hoses off, so we could get more accurate with our fertilizer placement. And we're putting it on both sides of the row. So you got fertilizer 4 inches from the row right here. See that little line? And we got fertilizer 4 inches from the row right here. So on both sides of the plant, we're getting the micronutrients and the 28005 nitrogen. Now it's taken me a while to get this rig just like I want it, putting out the fertilizer. I mean, this is what, the 4th or 5th year I've had that fertilizer rig, and with the Y drops, and we finally, I think, are getting it dialed in. It's doing an excellent job. We did an excellent job last year. It's doing a perfect job this year. So really love putting everything right by the row on either side. It's just doing a good job. Thanks for watching another one with us, guys. We really appreciate it, and we'll see y'all on the next one. We're out.